As we age, we learn a lot of things that we don't always share with our children. Some of these lessons are just too hard to put into words, while others are simply things we don't want to worry them with. But what if sharing these secrets could help them prepare for their own future? In today's video, we're going to reveal 7 secrets about aging that most wise seniors never tell their children. These are the things we've learned the hard way, but they're the very lessons that can make a huge difference in how you navigate your senior years. If you're over 60 or if you have elderly loved ones, you won't want to miss this. These insights are about making life easier, healthier, and more fulfilling as we get older. By the end of this video, you'll have a better understanding of what aging really looks like and why so many seniors keep these secrets to themselves. So stay tuned, because what you're about to learn could change the way you think about growing old, and the way you talk to your children about it. Let's dive into these 7 important secrets. Secret 1. The quiet burden of loneliness. As we age, many of us start to feel the quiet burden of loneliness. This isn't something that we like to admit, especially not to our children. We want to appear strong, independent, and able to handle everything on our own. But the truth is, as the years go by, friends and loved ones pass away, and the social circles we once had begin to shrink. You might find yourself spending more time alone, and the days can feel long, especially if you live by yourself. But this loneliness often goes unspoken. It's not that we don't love our children or don't enjoy their company, but we don't want them to worry about us, so we keep it to ourselves. For example, there's Helen, 72, who spends most of her time at home reading or watching TV. When we talked about it, she admitted that she hadn't realized how much she missed real face-to-face conversations until recently. "It's just hard to say to my kids, 'I'm lonely,'" she told me. I don't want them to feel like they have to take care of me. What many older adults don't share is how much we crave companionship, the simple act of sharing a meal or chatting with someone face to face. It's not just about emotional needs, it's about connection. Without it, life can feel much emptier. It's important to acknowledge this reality because, once you recognize the loneliness, you can find ways to address it. Whether it's joining a social club, attending community events, or simply spending more time with family, staying connected is key. But for most seniors, this secret is something we hide away, choosing instead to smile and pretend we're fine, even when we're not. It's a side of aging that's not often discussed, but it's one of the most important secrets to share, especially with your children. Secret 2. The truth about physical decline. One of the hardest things to talk about as we grow older is the physical decline that inevitably happens. It doesn't matter how healthy we were in our younger years, our bodies begin to change, and not always in the ways we expect or are prepared for. At first, it might be something small, a sore knee after a walk or a backache when bending down. But over time, these little inconveniences can turn into bigger challenges. And before long, we realize that we can't do the things we once did with ease. And while we might talk about aches and pains in passing, we often don't admit how much harder these changes make life. Take George, 79, for example. He's always been active, enjoying long walks and gardening, but lately, he's been feeling the strain. "I never thought I'd be the kind of person who can't get up without help," he said. It's just frustrating, but I don't want to burden anyone. The physical changes don't just affect how we move, they affect our independence. It's hard to admit that we might need help with things like getting out of bed, putting on shoes, or carrying groceries. We don't want to feel weak or vulnerable, so we tend to downplay it, even though these changes are happening quietly in the background. What most older adults don't share with their children is how much we worry about losing our autonomy. The thought of needing constant help or relying on someone else for basic tasks is a difficult thing to face. But it's a reality we often have to accept, and one that we need to talk about more openly. Acknowledging the reality of physical decline isn't about giving up, it's about preparing for it and finding ways to adapt. With the right support, physical therapy, or even simple lifestyle changes, we can maintain our independence for much longer than we think. But for many, this is a secret we keep to ourselves, not wanting to burden our children or make them worry. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Secret 3. Financial worries that never get shared. One of the most difficult conversations older adults avoid with their children is about money. Whether it's the fear of running out of savings or the anxiety of unexpected medical bills, financial stress is something many seniors carry in silence. It's not that we don't want to share our concerns, it's just that talking about money can be uncomfortable. We don't want to seem irresponsible, and we certainly don't want our children to feel burdened by the thought of caring for us financially. So we often keep quiet, even when we're struggling. For example, I spoke to Martha, 78, who's been on a fixed income for years. She admitted that she's constantly worried about how she'll make ends meet, especially with healthcare costs rising. "I don't like to talk about it with my kids," she said. Asterisk, they're doing their own thing, and I don't want to add to their stress. Asterisk. But what many seniors don't realize is that, by keeping these concerns hidden, they might actually be adding more stress to their children. When you don't discuss financial worries openly, it can create misunderstandings and even strain relationships. The reality is that finances in old age are often a delicate subject, but sharing those concerns with your children can open the door to solutions. They may not be aware of your struggles, and having an honest conversation could lead to finding ways to support you, whether it's financial planning, helping with expenses, or even just offering reassurance. Addressing financial concerns might feel uncomfortable, but keeping them hidden can lead to more anxiety and a sense of isolation. It's time to start those tough conversations and trust that your children want to help, even if it's in small ways. Secret 4. The emotional weight of aging. As we age, the emotional weight of growing older can become a heavy burden. Many older adults experience feelings of sadness, regret, or even depression, but it's something we don't always admit. We put on a brave face and try to mask the pain, especially around our children, because we don't want to burden them with our emotional struggles. The loss of loved ones, the decline of our health, or the sense that time is slipping away can be incredibly difficult to process. And while we may want to talk about these feelings, there's often a sense of shame attached to being vulnerable. The fear of being seen as weak or incapable can prevent us from opening up. Take Richard, 80, for example. He recently lost his wife, and although he was deeply grieving, he never spoke about it to his children. "I didn't want them to see me falling apart," he told me. Asterisk, I just kept it to myself because I thought they'd think I was being too emotional. Asterisk. But hiding these feelings doesn't make them go away. In fact, it often amplifies the emotional strain. We need to understand that it's okay to grieve, to feel sad, and to experience loss. And more importantly, it's okay to share these feelings with those we love. By talking about our emotions, we can process them more effectively and strengthen the bonds with our family. Emotional honesty can bring a sense of relief and connection. Sharing our feelings helps our children understand that aging isn't just a physical process, it's an emotional one too. So if you're feeling overwhelmed or carrying emotional weight, remember that you don't have to carry it alone. Talking to your children about your feelings can not only bring comfort, but also help you build a deeper, more supportive relationship with them. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Secret 5. The hidden fear of losing independence. As we age, one of the greatest fears we face is losing our independence. It's not something we always voice out loud, but the thought of relying on others for basic tasks is deeply unsettling. We pride ourselves on being self-sufficient, and the idea of needing constant help can feel like a loss of dignity. For many older adults, this fear goes unspoken. We try to manage our daily routines on our own, even when it's getting harder. The fear of being dependent on others can cause us to hide our struggles and put on a facade of independence. Nancy, 74, had been living alone for several years after her husband passed away. She told me, asterisk, I'm afraid of needing help with the simple things, like getting dressed or cooking my meals. I don't want to be a burden. Asterisk, she tried to do everything herself, but she had become exhausted, both physically and emotionally. It's not that we don't appreciate help from our children, it's that we don't want to admit how much we need it. It's important to recognize that this fear is normal, but it's also something that can be addressed. Asking for help doesn't mean giving up. It means taking control of your well-being in a way that allows you to maintain a good quality of life. One of the hardest steps is being open with your children about the areas where you need support. But once you do, you'll find that most of your fears are unfounded. Children want to help. They want to ensure that their parents remain safe, comfortable, and healthy. And allowing them to help is a way of maintaining the respect and love that strengthens those family bonds. Remember, losing independence doesn't mean losing your identity. It means evolving and finding new ways to live a fulfilling life. And it's okay to lean on others. It's a sign of wisdom, not weakness. Secret 6. The struggle with technology. In today's world, technology is everywhere, and it's one of the secrets older generations often keep to themselves. Many seniors feel overwhelmed or frustrated by technology, whether it's using a smartphone, learning how to navigate new apps, or keeping up with the constant updates. But here's the thing, while some might think technology is too complicated or unnecessary, it's actually an essential part of staying connected and engaged in the modern world. The internet, social media, and smartphones can offer seniors a lifeline to their families, friends, and even the world beyond their immediate surroundings. I spoke with Bill, 78, who admitted he avoided using his smartphone because it felt like too much to handle. "I've got kids and grandkids, but I don't want to deal with all the texting and apps," he said. It feels like I'm too old for it. But after taking a few simple lessons from his daughter, he realized how much he could stay connected with his family, and even enjoy watching videos or reading the news online. The fear of technology isn't just about complexity, it's about feeling like you're falling behind. The truth is, it's never too late to start learning, and you don't need to become an expert. Just having the basics down can open doors to staying socially engaged, accessing health resources, and even doing things like online shopping to make life easier. The key is to start small. Pick one thing at a time to learn, and ask for help when you need it. Your children or grandchildren might not realize that you feel left out or overwhelmed by technology, so don't hesitate to let them know that you need a hand learning how to use these tools. They'll likely be eager to show you. While technology can seem intimidating, it doesn't have to be a barrier. It can be an incredibly empowering tool when used with confidence. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 6 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Secret 7. The quiet fear of death and what comes after. The last secret that many seniors keep to themselves is the quiet fear of death and what comes after. As we age, we can't help but reflect on the time we have left and the inevitable truth that everyone we know will eventually pass away. It's something we think about more than we let on, but it's not easy to talk about, especially with our children. The reality is, many older adults are often uncomfortable discussing death, fearing that it will upset their loved ones. Yet, it's a deeply personal concern, one that lingers in the background of daily life. It might surface in small moments, when we lose a close friend, when we notice a change in our health, or when we face the death of a loved one. But we often bury those thoughts to avoid burdening our children with them. Take, for example, Joanne, 82, who lost her sister a few months ago. She told me, "I think about death more now, but I don't want to talk about it. I don't want my kids to be afraid or start worrying about me." Joanne admitted that the loss of her sister made her face her own mortality, but she chose not to discuss it with her children. But here's the truth. Talking about death is not morbid. It's a way to process it. Opening up about our fears can help us find peace and understanding, and it can bring us closer to our loved ones. Discussing end-of-life plans, legacy wishes, or even just acknowledging the reality of aging can relieve the emotional burden and help make the inevitable a little easier to navigate. The fear of death isn't something that has to be carried alone. Sharing it with those you love can actually be incredibly healing. Your children may not fully understand, but they will certainly appreciate your honesty and the chance to support you in such a vulnerable and essential conversation. While no one looks forward to thinking about the end, embracing this part of life can be one of the most profound steps in the aging process. It's not about giving up, it's about acceptance and finding peace. By facing our fears and talking about them openly, we can make the journey through old age smoother, more connected, and more meaningful. Final thoughts. As we reach the later stages of life, there are many secrets that we, as older adults, hold on to, secrets that we often choose not to share with our children. But by recognizing these hidden truths and starting conversations around them, we can make the aging process more manageable, less isolating, and ultimately more fulfilling. The lessons we've learned over the years, From the quiet burden of loneliness to the fears about losing independence, are not burdens to be carried in silence. They are opportunities for connection, understanding, and growth, both for ourselves and for our children. It's important to remember that, by being open and honest about the challenges of aging, we can break down the barriers of silence that often surround these topics. We may not be able to reverse the inevitable changes that come with age, but we can certainly face them with a sense of peace, knowing that we have the support and understanding of those we love. So let's not keep these secrets hidden any longer. Start the conversations. Share the wisdom, the struggles, and the fears. It will make all the difference, not just for you, but for the next generation that will one day face these same challenges. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.